down. Look at me. Look at me. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna get into the second level. Do you remember the balcony? Okay. You're gonna go to the window. You're gonna jump to the balcony. Okay? Trust me. You can do this. Okay. Seems like you're in a little bit of a pickle there, Ty. It's almost as if you don't have a family. Family's very important, Ty. How deep do your loyalties lie?
I don't know. Can I join yours?
Yes. Yes, Ty, you can join my family. I thought you'd never ask. Yes, we'd be glad to have you. Are you ready for your mission?
He is deeply inspired by your country's sending of such a high-level trade organization and hopes to establish business cooperations with you urgently.
正指控你们部队屠杀平民，这是违反战争公约的行为。
观众朋友们，大家好，欢迎收看《对话好莱坞》，我是主持人蓝天。那今天呢，我们非常的有幸的邀请到了演员模特 Matthew Knowles 来到了我们的节目当中。那么他曾经是一位橄榄球手，职业橄榄球手。那么他随后呢又跨界到了贵州去当了2年的支教，随后呢又在中国出演了大大小小非常多的电视剧以及电影。那今天呢，我们邀请他来到我们节目当中，跟我们分享一下他这些年做演员模特的亲身经历吧。Hello, Matthew. Thank you so much for coming on my show.
Thanks for having me.
So I know that you can speak 四川话, right? So can you please introduce yourself in 四川话?
你啥子意思嘛? I can speak a little bit, but you know,
yeah.
my 普通话 is a little better now.
Oh my god!
It's been a long time since
I think your 四川话 is a little better.
I can just say normal phrases like 你啥子嘛?
How about I teach you?
Yeah.
大家好。
大家好。
我的名字叫做马修。That was so good.
成都巴适的板。
巴适的板。你的四川话真的是巴适的板。
巴适的很。
So I know that you're actually born from South Carolina.
Yeah.
So how was that like? Yeah, it's like, you know, is there much to do there? How did you decide to move to Hollywood?
Well, yeah, I mean, I consider South Carolina kind of like Guizhou of the U.S.
Guizhou
you know?
of the U.S.
Which is funny because that's the first place I went in China.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of a little more backwoods, a little more, you know, behind other places.
It's more cultured.
It's
I would
more
like
cultured
to call it
in a certain way, right? It's like 20 years ago, China.
So is that why? So is that why you decided to play football?
Well, no, I played football because football is big in the South, right?
Right, it's huge.
You know, it's it's bigger than religion. It's bigger than God there, you know. So I grew up playing sports. I grew up playing soccer, and I have a crazy story with football. Actually, I always wanted to play football.
Yeah.
And I was cut from my 9th grade team.
What?
One of the only guys ever cut, you know. And my mom went and talked to the coach. Was like, he wants to play football. You know, his dad played football. He wants to do something like his dad. Can you please let him have a chance? And he goes, no, he should run cross country.
Why? Because you're too tall?
I was super skinny.
Oh, you were skinny.
Yeah, I was awkward and, you know, everything. So I got cut.
Oh, no.
So I had no confidence whatsoever
right.
Until I got to college. And I got a lot bigger, you know, grew into my tall, lanky frame, and ended up walking on to the Clemson football team.
Right.
Which were national champions this year.
Woohoo!
Pretty excited about that. But yeah, walked onto the team, earned my spot, and played with Dabo Swinney in his first class ever. You know, he's the coach now, won Coach of the Year and everything. So I was part of that, a small piece of that tradition to get to the national championship. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. So how did you decide to go from being a professional football player to being a model and actor later on? How did that transition happen?
Well, it basically happened senior year. My knees got injured.
Oh no.
And I had 3 surgeries, and I came out of, you know, football was over. I found myself on my mom's couch with my foot laid up, getting iced on my knee, and I thought, man, what am I going to do with my life? And from a young age, I had always thought, man, it would be really cool to give a year back of my life, go somewhere in the world and help people.
Yeah.
Just find some way to help people.
Yeah.
And so at that time, I had a football buddy who called me. He was in Guizhou province, volunteering as a teacher, like Zhijiao. And he said, hey, I want another guy to come out here. Do you want to join me? I said, okay, sounds good.
That is
And
insane.
so knew nothing about China, knew nothing.
That
and
was like the
ended up-
first time you ever like
So this is
went to China. Yeah.
right. So that's the first time I ever went to China, and basically my path towards entertainment started through China. If I hadn't taken that first step, going to Guizhou, I never would have gotten on this long path that I've been on in the entertainment industry. But
Wow.
basically, I spent 2 years in Guizhou teaching
English.
and teaching English. Yeah, at a small high school in a town called Duyun. And my students would come from the mountain regions down to the school, and on the weekends I go visit their parents and their houses and everything. But yeah, so after 2 years I moved to Chengdu.
Yeah, that's right, my hometown.
Which is one of the best places in China.
Spicy food and hot girls and
yes.
hometown of pandas.
yes, hometown of the pandas. So I moved to Chengdu, and it was in Chengdu that I started my life in entertainment.
Right.
I signed on with a agency there called 华语春秋.
华语春秋,
Yeah,
okay.
so Li Boqing is one of our guys in that agency, and I was their first ever white guy, basically. So they kind of put me out to do. At that point, I could sing Chinese songs.
Wow.
And I was this tall white guy, I could speak Mandarin, and I could sing songs, and people would be like, "Whoa, it sounds like a Chinese person, doesn't sound like an American." So that's kind of how I got started. They sent me out to just lots and lots and lots of stuff in Sichuan province, and I did anything from acting, hosted a travel TV show for Chengdu TV, and I did sang in concerts with like opening for big people like Fei Xiang and that kind of stuff, and I did some modeling and then acting in local productions, and yeah, so that's how I got my start.
Did you get scouted by a Xingtan, or was it just like you wanted to do this?
It
wanted to pursue
was.
this career?
Well, I had some experience in the past. I had done some modeling in Singapore.
Yeah.
And while I was there, I got cast for a movie, Hollywood-Malaysian co-production called Vikingdom. That was filmed in Malaysia. So I had done a small part in that movie, and so I kind of had a little bit of experience.
Right.
But
and
it
you
was,
liked it.
And I liked it, but it was really, I met these really cool friends in Chengdu who were TV hosts, and they heard me sing Chinese songs, and they were like, "Hey, you should definitely like come on to our show and sing," and one thing led to another, and just I just kind of followed these open doors, and ended up doing that in Chengdu.
Do you want to show off a little bit of your singing skills right now?
Oh,
I know you
gosh,
hate me
yeah.
so much right now, but
Yeah, okay.
I have to ask.
Okay. Okay, I'll sing some Wang Lihong.
Wang Lihong.
Yeah,
oh, you
yeah.
kind of look like him too.
Oh, yeah?
The Americanized
The
version
American
of Wang
Southern
Lihong.
boy.
The southern boy of Wang Lihong.
So, baby 不要再哭泣，这一幕多么熟悉，紧握着你的手，彼此都舍不得分离。每次想开口，但不如保持安静。给我1分钟专心，好好欣赏你的美。
Oh my god, my heart just melted. That was so awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know that you were actually hosting too,
Yeah.
for the Sichuan tourist 旅游频道. So what was one of your favorite places that you had to, host or discover and,
There were some really cool places. We basically explored all the ancient cities around Chengdu. So I remember there was a place called Pingluo, and I did some like rock climbing there, and we experienced the local dishes, fresh fish caught out of the river and everything like that.
Did you like spicy
chaguans
food?
and- Yeah.
Yeah?
I loved spicy food. They taught me to cook, 回锅肉 and like all that stuff, right? Yeah.
Did you have to eat hot pot every single day in Chengdu?
Not every day, but that would have been great. I loved hot pot. Still, I think my favorite food right now in the world is like Sichuan 火锅 and then 毛肚. Malatang, Maodu.
Because you know how there's so many American or Caucasian people that won't eat maodu, intestines, right? Stomach or chicken feet.
Right.
Are you okay with that?
Well, chicken feet I'm not really that big of a fan of.
Maodu, but you're okay.
Maodu, yeah, I don't know why. I usually, I probably didn't like it at first, but it's so good. I don't know.
I think you probably
It grew
might have
on
been a
me.
Chinese in the last life.
Maybe. It grew on me, right?
Yeah. first Chinese TV show or film that you took part in?
I think it was in Chengdu. I did a small show called 胖姐超市.
胖姐超市.
胖姐超市. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
what did you do there?
I was like a guest star. I came on as the boyfriend of one of the main girls, you know, that she'd found on the street, and she was gonna marry this white guy, and you know, so everyone hated me and like making fun of me in Sichuanhua and stuff, and I'm just the lovable boyfriend, like, ni hao, you know. Yeah.
How was that experience like? You know, working in a completely drastic, different environment that you never even imagined. How was that like?
Well, it was a big adventure for me,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And as I started doing more and more acting things, it really started to grow on me how much I liked that, and really wanted to pour into that and develop that and pursue it.
And bring happiness to people, yeah.
Yeah. And it was really cool in Chengdu because I was able to share my story a lot of when I was in Guizhou and like you know, volunteer teaching, and I feel like that was a way that I could inspire people to, you know, to also want to do something like that or give back of their time to help, you know, kids in poor areas. And yeah, so I think that was one of the big things when I was doing that and getting started that really kept me going, because I was like, okay, I'm making an impact, you know, in a positive way.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, and so it's always been a goal of mine to continue that kind of, you know, humanitarian pursuits and everything like that. So, you know, I do lots of stuff. I you know, work at the orphanage around Beijing some. And National Autism Week is coming up, which I'm a supporter of. So yeah, there's lots of, you know, I definitely encourage people to give of their time and energy and money to help other people, because it's, I know, the most rewarding experience in my life. You know, I say that my 2 years I spent in Guizhou was my like 最幸福的2年. You know, just like the most pure, the most beneficial, the most, you know.
What was that thing that stuck with you the most? Like one of the truest memories?
Gosh, there's so many. But you know, it's weird because I went there helping other people, right? With like, hey, I'm a big American, I'm gonna help other people. But really, in the end,
I feel like that's like you just said the plot of Changchun, of the Great Wall.
Right. But
I'm white, I'm gonna go help you.
But you're right. But here, in the end, that's not really what happened. What happened is they taught me much more than I taught them.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And it changed my life, like more like it changed the course of my career for sure. You know, from being like a football player to like being an actor. You know, but more than that, it just changed my outlook on life of like, you know, what's important and what are pursuits. You know, and who needs help in this world, you know?
Right,
It's very, very enlightening experience. Yeah.
Right now, I feel like there's a lot of Asian Americans that's trying to struggle to, you know, be represented in the American mainstream market. But you, as a Caucasian, and you're going to the Chinese market, how is that different? And how do you, what kind of advices you can give to some of the Americans that are trying to make it in the Chinese market?
Oh, well, the biggest piece of advice, the thing that set me apart and got things going is I learned Chinese.
Right.
So, I mean, dedicate several years to really learning Chinese is what I tell people.
It's one of the hardest languages to learn.
Yes, it's a hard language, you know, so it's a hurdle. But if you can really develop that and put time into that, it's only going to open doors, you know. It's putting in the time and the effort in certain areas that set you apart from other people, right? And if you're going to work in China, Chinese language is the one thing you can point to that's going to help you the most. But yeah, I'm in a weird situation, right? Like you said, I go and work in China, and I'm like an American actor. Yeah. But I feel like I'm a new breed of
a new
actor,
generation,
right?
Yeah.
You know, I say that, you know, I'm an American Asian.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like a new type of person, right?
Yeah.
Who you know, their career blossomed and found their dreams kind of in another land, in China, in this movie market that's just exploding. And it's weird because I'm in such an awkward position. People don't really know what to do with me and what, you know, what I'm doing over there and everything. But it's more and more people every day are contacting me and asking me advice about going to China and like, you know, what I've been doing or how they can do that, you know. One of the other things that really benefited me there is I studied at Beijing Film Academy, so I got a scholarship.
北京电影学院.
Yeah, Beijing 电影学院. Yeah, so I got a government scholarship to study acting there.
Oh,
I was the first ever non-Asian to study acting.
How was the experience like there? Because there's tens and thousands of students are trying to get into that school, but it was so easy for you. right?
Yeah,
you got the look, and then you got the everything.
Yeah, well, it was weird. You know, I applied for the scholarship, and they didn't even offer it to Beijing Film Academy. I just wrote in like what school I wanted to go to, Beijing Film Academy, you know, and sent in all my materials of stuff I'd done in China. And I guess it worked because they gave me a scholarship to go there, you know.
Wow, that is huge.
Yeah, but it was great to study with the Chinese students in Chinese. You know, it gives me a completely different perspective that on acting in general, but also, you know, how Chinese act and how it works in their program and how the relationships work throughout the film industry and everything like that. You know, it was an amazing experience, and you know, and really cool to be part of such an amazing school.
Was it really hard trying to assimilate into the Chinese culture?
Oh gosh,
I'm giving you all hard questions here today.
Yes and no, but you know, at first it was an adventure, right? I'm going to China, I'm going to help people. And then after the first year, it became my second home.
Right.
You know, really, like I felt, even now, still when I fly into China, and I usually go into Beijing, but I land in the Beijing airport, I have this feeling in my heart,
soft spot in your heart,
I'm home.
Yeah.
You know, and it's weird because, you know, that's not really where I'm from, but I feel like a part of me is from there. And you know, I feel like an attachment to China and a love for Chinese people and the culture and all my friends there, and you know, yeah. So on one hand, it's very hard to assimilate to the culture there, but you know, because it's so different than the American culture.
Right.
But on the other hand, it's easy too because people are so
loving
and loving and especially in places like Guizhou and Chengdu, where you know you can meet anyone and they're just, you know, they'll buy you a meal and just talk to you and just like...
Really?
Yeah.
Only because you're probably really handsome, that's why.
I don't know. But, yeah.
You know how there is a phrase in China, 这是个看脸的社会,
maybe.
So as long as you're handsome or beautiful, you can get anything you want.
Okay. Well, I like to think it's more than that.
Yeah,
you know?
It's more than that.
You know, especially places like Guizhou, they're not,
True.
you know...
True.
It's not so much of a benefit to be like a tall white guy, you know. I had little kids like running away screaming because they thought I was a monster, you know. Like,
a 巨人, right?
Yeah. Really.
So now you're actually back in Hollywood.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you're working on now?
Well, I'm currently filming a project called Bond Kazuna, and it's about the Japanese mafia in LA, the Yakuza mafia in LA. And it's an interesting project for me, especially because it's my first time in a bad guy role.
Oh.
You know, I'm like the bad like assassin for the Yakuza. Like
You're the assassin.
A hired, you know, assassin, right? And so, yeah, it's a lot different than the roles I've done in the past because I've always in China and the projects there played
righteous characters.
Right. Yeah, like a good guy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I'm excited about it, but we'll see. We'll see how it, you know.
So how do you prepare to like channel that inner, you know, evilness for this character?
Well, you know, I think good guys like are able to act bad guys pretty well. Like, you know. Yeah, I think because you see it in other people and you can
you absorb that.
You can absorb it and you can choose specific aspects of how you know, bad people work. Well, first of all, there's no bad people. People don't think that they're bad, you know?
Yeah.
So it's more like for me to be a bad guy, I just create a really tough childhood. And I figure out what would make someone turn into someone like this. You know, what real experiences with their family and
you have to
and
make up the backstories for the
and their
character.
backstory, you know? So I give myself reasons for everything. So it's not just I'm bad unnecessarily. There's like a reason for it. I don't think of myself bad.
Right.
And a lot of the badness comes from the actions that you do. You know, I kill people cold-heartedly, and then that makes you a bad person.
Exactly.
But, you know, I try not to play him as a complete, like, psychotic killer, you know, because people are people, you know, and they all have soft sides, and you know, and if you can bring those layers to a bad character, then I think it makes it a lot more interesting.
So how is it different from working in China opposed to working in the U.S.?
Like, well, China. China's crazy. You know, there's a lot. You know,
that's what people say.
Yeah. A lot longer hours in China.
Yeah.
And you know, it's a lot less structured, and the contracts don't necessarily always matter that much, and that kind of stuff. But the biggest difference I think is is like the SAG rules and everything like that really control how you can treat the actors and everything like that, and so it's a lot more comfortable over here, you know. But it's almost like, I think it's too comfortable over here. I'm used to filming over there, or we work
like
hard,
grinding all the 24
7
hours
days a week, 22 hours a day, So I think it's cool to come from that sort of thing, and then you get nicer treatment after that. I think it's a lot harder for people to go from the nice treatment here to something over there. I don't think they can really handle it, But yeah, I mean, but China has so many things going.
I think you miss it already.
I do miss China, absolutely. And although I moved back to LA, I still go back to China all the time.
Right.
I just need like a tiny excuse, like, oh, a dinner, okay, I'll go. But
hop on the plane.
Part of me is in China, and I'll continue to work on projects there as long as they'll have me, and
we love to have you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much, Matthew,
Sure.
and I wish you the best in all your future endeavors.
Yeah.
Here in Hollywood or in China or Sichuan, wherever. You're a great actor and model in general. Thank you so much for sharing all your stories with us. 好的，以上就是我们今天对话好莱坞的全部内容了，感谢大家的收看，我们下一周同一时间再见了，拜拜。
You're a foreigner. Why go to Jiangxi? The nationalists are attacking the communists. Still you win. Why?
I'm doing my job. I'm a reporter.
But you win. Hey, did you see any communists there?
No.
The consulate, the last few days since you left, has received several complaints from other countries regarding the article you wrote. Chinese, please use the rear door.
Good.
I've already spoken to the consulate general. He said it's a sensitive time right now and asked us to keep quiet.
Mr. Givens arrested a U.S. citizen. Did the American board members of municipal council reply?
Snow's article concerning the Chinese through the back door.